Today on Trash to Treasure Thursday, I'm going to share with you some tips for making some miniature dirt or potting soil to use in your next mini project. Stay tuned and see what common household item we're going to use. Well, today for Trash to Treasure, I'm not showing you exactly a project. I'm showing you a component that we can use in projects. And since I'm preparing some for later, I thought I'd share pretty much exactly what I do. First, I've got this plant to show you, because what I'm showing you today is how to make dirt to use in your miniature scenes. I use coffee grounds. And I've gotten a few people message me back, well, that'll mold. I want to show you this little potted plant. This is a potted plant that came out of a scene that my daughter made for my mother at least 10 years ago. This has been sitting in a closed jar with the lid screwed on, no air getting in and out. If it was going to mold, I think it would have molded by now. It has not. It looks just like it did when we put it in the scene. So that's why I'm showing you this. If it can sit for 10 years in an enclosed jar without molding, I think we're safe. So what do? Well, first, gather some coffee grounds. These are used. You'll want to use ones that have gone through your coffee maker. If you don't drink coffee, talk to your friends that drink coffee, see if they'll save you some coffee grounds. And this is just a normal grind, just from a can of coffee. It's nothing special. And different coffees come different, some are darker, some are lighter roast, so you'll get some variety there if you do different kinds. We're going to put it in a metal pan. And I put in about that much. I don't want it too deep, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be able to see the pan. I can put a little more in there. About that much. If there are huge lumps of coffee, I kind of smush them with my finger. Now if you feel this, it feels damp. It almost feels like if you were to dig in the garden, that feeling of wet that you'll get from soil or from like a fresh bag of potting soil. It's got a little bit of moisture in it yet, even though most of these have sat since yesterday. So I put them in a pan and I bake them off at anywhere from 200 to 250 degrees. If I'm doing Fimo or other clay, I'll just put these on another rack in the oven and leave them in the oven for, a half hour, 45 minutes. They'll be dry in about a half hour. When they get dry, let them cool, and they'll look like this. Now this feels a lot drier. And then these are ready to use. I usually store them in a jar. I usually do put them in a ventilated jar in case there's any moisture left. Enough of it's gone, it will dry now on its own. But I usually put them in a ventilated jar. Just a jar with a couple holes poked in the lid. And then I glue them down. When we glue them down, we use them in very thin amounts. And like I said, this one has been here for 10 years. So I think we're pretty safe using these. I'm making soil because I'm hoping that I will get around to doing the landscaping on the Harrison soon, and I'll bring you on that little journey as we do that. But for that, I'm going to need some dirt. And I was all out of dirt, so I decided to make some. So I hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that you can, if you've got some projects coming up in the mini world that need some soil, this is a good way to do it. And this is free. Yeah, you're using your oven, but especially if you're doing something else, it doesn't take much heat. And it looks really convincing. If a couple of weeks ago on the Brookfield, when I showed you the Brookfield, that is what the planting beds on it are done with too. That's coffee grounds. So if you haven't found us on Facebook, be sure and find us there. Check the blog for any additional details, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.